And welcome back to the Over 40s Fitness Podcast. My name is Tristan Lowe, and after I think approximately a 3-week break from my podcast channel, I've come back refreshed and with some new ideas. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see in the little sign here, stop waiting. Okay, we're a nation of waiters. We're a nation of queuers. People that spend time thinking of, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get round to it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to start it. I'm going to solve it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. And the reason I've titled today's short video, Stop Waiting, because here we are now, second week in February. And there's a little bit of rain outside, a little bit chilly and overcast. But I've seen over the last 1 or 2 weeks and witnessed people coming up with reasons. It's too wet, it's too dark, it's too cold. There's too many clouds in the sky. It's not bright, sunny, warm, it's different if you're in Dubai, Australia, Spain, anything like that. Well, we're not. We're in the middle of England in the UK in February, and ordinarily, surprise, surprise, who would have thought it? It's overcast, wet, damp and cold. So what? Nobody cares. Yeah, I certainly don't care. And the key is to stop saying, I'm going to start exercising or going to start eating healthy or going to quit alcohol or quit vaping or smoking in April the 19th or May the 4th, whatever it is. Whatever date you give it, it's never the date that you actually say it. It's never the day that you actually say you're going to start exercising and start eating healthy. It's always another day. Now, obviously it can't be in the past unless you've got some secret sauce which can put you in the past. And if you have, give me the recipe. All right, so stop waiting. You have to queue in line at the petrol station to pay for your fuel, or you've got to queue for about 65 days if you want an electric car charged. You've got to queue for that. You've got to queue at the airport, to get on the plane. It's the rules, the regulations, security, things like that. You've got to queue to pay for your food at your local supermarket. Although I've seen people try that old technique where they slide down the side of the queue and keep going backwards and forwards to pick stuff out the aisles, even though they've got their trolley or their basket already in the queue on the conveyor belt. Normally a little old lady, so we let it slide. All right, okay, don't wait for anything else. Start exercising today. And if exercising means going for a walk, I say it time and time again, the basic stuff done consistently is what's going to get you healthier. It's what's going to help you to lose weight, lose body fat, lose the big fat belly, the double chin, the overweight physical attributes, of saggy features and too much fat around the hips and the back. And I see a lot of lads like that as well now. I've seen a lot of blokes, walking through town. And I've seen it for the last few years. It's getting worse and worse. Young men between the age of 18 to 20, right up all the way to 40, okay, that are built like old ladies. And I don't mean their bones are frail because you can't see the bones, but they're built like old ladies, and it's because they're covered in excess fat. Yeah, they eat like little children, grown men that eat like little children all the time. And they walk around all the time in slippers or those Crocs or Skulls as if they're in their house. They walk around town almost in their dressing gown, and it's because they're lazy. And I'm just talking about the men at this very particular moment. The women are the same, yeah? And it's always, I'm going to do it next year. But actually, those same people will wait, and they'll wait in the queue to go to one of these shops where you buy your cigarettes and your vaping and your scratch cards and your gambling cards, or those cheap throwaway clothes shops like Primark or whatnot. They'll queue all day in there. They'll wait there. Okay, and rightly so, because that's the rules, that's the law, within reason. But also, they'll be happy to put off and wait to get healthy. Yeah, don't keep waiting. Don't blame the weather. So what? It's cold. Put a hat on. Put 2 pairs of socks on if you need to. Put your gloves and scarf on. It's so cheap to buy a little woolly hat. Matter of fact, the other day I walked through my town in Lincoln City Centre, and I saw a shop that was selling off old winter clothes that they're struggling to get rid of. They were selling woolly hats for £1 a pop, £1 a hat, different colours, blue, grey, black, navy, cream, brown. So I bought a couple more because I go through them like butter, so suggestions are that if you're looking to have a healthier, stronger, fitter, more aesthetically pleasing, more flexible and mobile and stronger body, by spring, at the very latest by summer, You've got to start exercising now. You can't think, oh, I'll wait until August the 19th when I'm on the beach and I'll throw a frisbee. Or this other one I keep hearing, oh, I do my cardiovascular exercise. I walked the dog last Tuesday. Yeah? Last time I checked, I don't see people running behind their dogs. It's always the dog sniffing around trees and bushes and pavements and darting around, and the owner stood there texting or scrolling or vaping or just, walking with their hands in the pocket. You're not training. If your dog is going for a dog walk, you're not training, okay? You're following your dog. You're certainly not running behind your dog. All right, so this may sound like a little bit of a jolt, and it can be quite jarring. Well, fun fact, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be quite jarring. It's supposed to actually make you think, I've got to do something about this. I've got to actually get my body in better shape. There's no point, rushing out to these January, February sales and buying fancy clothes and fancy jewelry and fancy perfumes and aftershave and silly little gadgets for your house that you're not going to need if you are fat, lazy, out of shape, overweight, morbidly obese, smoke, drink and vape, okay, or any of those above, yeah, okay. Now, you may be none of those, but that doesn't mean to say that you're not lazy. You still might not exercise. You could be thin. Eat a relatively healthy diet, not smoke, not drink, not do drugs, not gamble. You're not carrying excess body fat, but you could still be lazy, because you don't have any reason. You think you don't have any reason to exercise because you're not grossly overweight like everybody else at work. Well, you do. You've got to keep your bones strong, your skeletal frame with resistance training and good nutrition, good fats, good protein, vitamin D from the sun. And again, you don't have to fly off to Dubai. You can always go and get yourself a good quality, high strength vitamin D supplement and still get out and about in the fresh air. So, don't wait till March. It's February now. It's going to be March in 2 weeks. All right. So I would start today. And if that means you're going to go for a walk before work, during work, after work, gents, you're going to come home and do your press ups, do your sit ups, do your body weight squats. But you know why people don't do it? It's not because they don't know what to do. That may be the case, but generally it's because they can't be bothered. Yeah. And their energy levels are low. Well, the reason your energy levels are low is because you don't exercise and you have a poor diet. That's why your energy levels are low. You show me someone who goes and walks 5 miles in the fresh air, they come back and you feel invigorated, you feel flushed out, you feel like you want to go and do something. Show me someone that lifts weights for 25, 35, 45 minutes. They always want to do something more because you've got your body's energy cells, your mitochondria, okay, up and firing, your adrenal glands are firing, your nervous system switched on. You're almost excited. It can be intoxicating, getting yourself healthy and fit. But certainly it's the exact opposite, being unhealthy and unfit. Yeah, no one cares about your brand new dress, your brand new pair of jeans. Nobody cares. Yeah, no one cares if you're scrolling on social media and putting pictures of yourself 3 years ago when you were lying on a beach looking up at the sun and whatnot. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter how many times you get likes and follows and clicks and loves and heart emojis and whatnot. Okay, because quite often people that do that, it's never something they've solved or accomplished. It's always something where they're being lazy, yeah? And guys out there, men, stop putting pictures of your girlfriend or wife on social media when you are in bad shape yourself. These dudes, these blokes that get a girlfriend, good for you, get a fiance, good for you, get a wife, good for you, mother of the children. These things are really nice, and they're warming, they're kind, and they're loving. However, yeah, it's incumbent upon you, men, not to put pictures of your girlfriends or wives and showing them off on social media pages when you are overweight, fat and lazy, with a double chin and a beer belly and dressed like a little boy. All these guys that always go around and they have all these elaborate fancy haircuts. They're going paying 40 and 50 quid for a haircut and their eyebrows to be plucked and shaved and lined and whatnot. You do you, but you're still fat and lazy. So don't be that guy. Yeah, stop doing that. Yeah, because eventually your girlfriend or your wife, as long as she's thin and attractive and whatnot, she'll start looking at you and thinking you're lazy. You're not healthy. Okay, and therein lies a snowball, a slippery slope. Yeah, so stop putting them on a pedestal. And likewise, women, stop putting pictures of your fat husbands or your fat lazy boyfriends, okay, on social media. Stood there smiling, looking all kind of physically weak. and helpless, stood behind you in all of your little photos and whatnot. This isn't a rant, this is an observation. Yeah, you might not like it. Again, it can be jarring. Well, okay, I work in the health industry. Yeah, I'm a professional fitness instructor. I practice what I preach. I had the flu in November. It knocked me for six. First time in about 6 or 7 years. I got through it. After the moaning and whinging and whatnot, I made sure I got a good healthy diet. I made sure I recovered from it and came back to strength training and fitness training. Yeah, I got on with it and got it done. But because I was in very, very good healthy condition for a man of my age, 54 years young, I got through the flu, with just literally sort of a few antibiotics. I had to fight it off and get back and still go to work, but I got through it. Yeah. So if I can get through being bedridden with the flu, you can get out of bed this morning and do some exercise. Yeah. Don't go shopping this weekend with your other half or your better half or your pals or your girlfriends, yeah, and walk around town with 3 or 4 bags in each hand, it's almost cartwheeling and skipping because you've gone and bought another jumper or another shirt, yeah, when you've got, 35-40% body fat. That's absolutely ridiculous, gents. And likewise, same thing with the girls. I keep seeing young women and middle-aged women smoking, vaping and getting tattooed up. Women that get tattooed up like jailhouse men. Women covering their bodies in tattoos. And those tattoos aren't cheap. They might look cheap, but they're not always ordinarily cheap. They get themselves covered in tattoos, but they're out of shape. And they get fatter and fatter, so they get more tattoos. All right, a psychologist or a psychiatric specialist may be able to come up with a reason why. I've got my own reason why they do it, but we'll talk about that in another video. All right, that's it. My next video I'm going to do is going to be a nice one, a light-hearted one, a friendly, warm and cuddly one. But this one ain't. Stop waiting, do something now. Don't be lazy, stop blaming other people. All right, my name's Tristan Lowe. I'm back after a 3-week hiatus and I've come back with a vengeance. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music or Apple Podcast. It's the Over 40s Fitness Podcast with Tristan Lowe. All right, I might have some more guests on in March. Be interested. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.